It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Pwhpa hockey player, Kassidy Sauve. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional hockey?
I just think when I graduated from college, kind of going down that path of still wanting to play hockey and knowing that I wanted to do it competitively, it made it pretty easy to kind of make that decision to go the pro route instead of just playing like in a fun adult league or anything like that.
What was it like playing for Ohio State?
It was unbelievable. I mean, a big school, big atmosphere. We had a pretty small rink, but we were always able to pack it, which was pretty cool for us. But I loved it. I loved wearing the scarlet and gray, and just my team was unbelievable too. So it was a really good experience playing hockey there.
What was that feeling like of obviously putting on that scarlet, gray, red jersey for Ohio State?
It was really good. I really enjoyed being able to do that, and I was extremely lucky to have multiple different sets of pads throughout my career. So being able to kind of style it up a little bit too and make that a part of who I was on the ice was really awesome.
How does it feel, obviously, looking back at your career at Ohio State, to be the best goalie tender there?
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously had a lot of good goalies come through that program, and even now they have, I think, like 3 unbelievable goalies there right now. And to be able to be considered a part of the top of that is extremely rewarding, and I think pays attribute to all the work that I put in throughout my hockey career.
What was it like, obviously, going into your being a grad student, going to Clarkson?
It was a pretty heavy workload, not gonna lie. Doing an MBA program in 1 year was a lot, balanced with playing NCAA hockey. It was a very condensed program, so it was a lot of work, but it was honestly super rewarding at the end of the day to come out of there with another degree.
What was that like, transitioning from obviously being at Ohio State at the top of the top to going to Clarkson?
It was good. It was a cool adjustment period where I went to a really big school and to a really small school. I thought that was really a good experience for me, and I think for anyone to be able to do that and to transition from one of the biggest schools in the nation to one of the smallest is a pretty cool experience. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I'm happy I got 2 very different experiences out of college and came out of it with 2 degrees in the process. So
Of course, when you got to Clarkson, was that around the time, obviously, when they went to the back-to-back championship?
yeah, so I went there. So I was at Ohio State. We played at the Frozen Four, and then the following year, so after Clarkson won, I went there for my final year.
What was that like, obviously, going to the Frozen Four and then going to Clarkson after they went to the championship and then going back as a Clarkson?
That was that was really cool. I mean, you go on to a team that knows how to win. I also do think, though, that following year that I played for Clarkson, we had more of a team that, and we knew this, like we were going to have to work hard to get there, and not that they didn't have to in the past, but there was more hard work grinders when I was at Clarkson than the previous years. So it was a really cool experience to be able to see a team of people kind of come together and make it back to the Frozen Four again. Although we didn't win, I think just being able to push through kind of the highs and the lows of a season together was really remarkable.
Of course, coming on out of Clarkson, what was it like going into the Pwhpa?
It was a bit of a blind side. Like we obviously coming out of college, I thought I was going to be playing in the CWHL. I was honestly really set on playing in Toronto or with Toronto or Markham. Kind of had the intentions of living near home. And when they folded, the CW folded, obviously the PW pulled everything together for us. And although it's not traditional to be playing in showcases instead of a regular season, at least we're getting games in and whatnot. But it was definitely a bit of a blindside in the sense that we weren't expecting it. But I have really enjoyed my experience in the PW. I've got to travel to places that I hadn't gone to in college. So that is really great. And just, I mean, obviously the level of competition is unbelievable. And the fact that we're able to kind of compete every few weekends against each other is really awesome.
Of course, as you talked about going into the showcase, what was it like making your debut into the Duncan showcase?
That one was really fun. I was super, super nervous. Like I mean, your first program game, and it's not really hyped up like it is on the NHL side, but I was definitely nervous. And that was a really successful tournament for our team. So it was pretty cool to play alongside people like Kendall Coyne, and just to be on the same ice surface as them was a little bit eye-opening and jaw-dropping, let's say.
What was it like whenever you got to sign your first professional contract as a PWHPA player?
It was pretty cool. I mean, obviously it's not the same as being in the NHL and signing those entry level contracts, but just being a part of something that's bigger than each individual athlete, I think is extremely rewarding at the end of the day, and is ultimately going to lead to something better for us down the road.
What was it like going to New England and obviously playing with New England?
That was fun. Kind of just a random decision for me to move out there. And I just kind of like decided, I was like, well, if I'm going to be playing hockey and I still had an extra year of being able to work in the US. So I was like, I'll do both. And so I managed that, the 40-hour work week and playing pro in New England. And that was really cool. I got to meet some new people and some lifelong friends out of it. So that was a really interesting experience as well.
What was it like coming back, obviously home, to play with Calgary?
That also was another jump the gun move somewhere, but yeah, that was great. I really liked living in Calgary for a year. I'm someone who likes to move around and see new places, so being able to do that right now has been really great. And I mean, Calgary is beautiful, and being able to explore it a little bit and play hockey there as well was awesome.
Of course, this year going to Toronto, what was that like switching from Calgary to Toronto?
It feels good to be back home for sure. I've been living away from home for like 7-ish years with college and stuff. So it's just been nice to be able to be around my family, and they've been able to watch a couple practices and stuff, which obviously they couldn't do in the past couple of years, especially with COVID. So just being home feels good, and it feels right now. And I really do genuinely love my team. I think we have a great group of people, and it makes it exciting to go to the rink.
What was it like the first time you got to put on the PWHPA jersey?
It was super cool. I mean, back when we first started 3 years ago, all of the jerseys were the same. You either wore like a dark blue one or a white one, but they've really evolved throughout the three years that we've been doing this. The putting on the Sonnet jersey for me was probably the coolest of the three, just because I am home and I'm representing the greater Toronto area, and all the young girls that do want to play. So I think that it kind of hits more home now for sure.
Of course, speaking about that, how does it feel to obviously put that jersey on that represents obviously your home and playing in your hometown?
Yeah, it feels really good. I think it's great that we're doing what we're doing. I don't think it's easy, and I think being able to stand through something, like now we're kind of into year 3 of doing it and not really know if down the road we're going to make money playing hockey, but to know that potentially in 10-15 years from now there will be young girls who are potentially making a lot of money playing hockey. And you have to think big picture when you're doing something like this. So putting that jersey on is like a sense of pride, because we're doing this for all the little ones out in Toronto right now playing hockey.
Of course, during your 3 seasons playing in the PWHPA, what was it like going to 3 different teams in 3 years?
It was fun. Like I think given the circumstances of what we're doing and the fact that like year one, we were kind of clumped together with people every showcase, so it was really random. But I think being able to play with different people and meet different people along the way is huge, especially in women's hockey when you get to network a little bit and meet people outside that have, we all have careers outside of hockey. So being able to kind of meet those people and see what they do, I think is really great. Um, but again, being back home and being able to play in Toronto with people that I can now like hang out with and stuff like that, now that kind of COVID's starting to dwindle down a little bit. I think it's really nice to be home and to be with these people.
Of course, what is it like playing in the showcase, and how many showcase are there that you play in?
The showcases are great. Like I said earlier, it's really cool to be able to travel to places that I haven't been to. There was a couple places in the States that I hadn't gone to during college, so that was really cool to just see new places. I'm huge on that. And I think this year, so far, we've had one normal showcase in Nova Scotia. And then we've had one all-star event, and there's one all-star event that we're leaving for tomorrow in Calgary. And then I think in the new year, they're intending on having like 4 or 5 other showcases. So probably around, I would say, at most 6 this year, which is up obviously from last year with COVID and only having the one showcase that was in a bubble. So
What is a typical game day like in the PWHPA?
kind of depends on who you ask. There's a lot of girls on our team, especially that have like 9 to 5 jobs. So if let's say it was a Friday game, and we were at home, they would probably have to still go to work, which is wild. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I try and not change my game day routine much from how it was in college. I usually get a pregame skate in the morning and then take a nap and have my pregame meal and go to the rink and prepare for the game about 2 hours before. So really just depends on who you ask, but the expectation is that everyone is at the rink 2 hours before the game and focused on the game itself. So
Of course, during your game day routines and rituals, are some of your rituals that you have to have the skates on one to the left, or are you not a big deal about that?
no, you know what? I used to be really superstitious, and I think it started to it was honestly crippling. So I tried to move away from that. And now I kind of avoid those tendencies just because as a goalie, it's really easy to get into those and think that that's why you're stopping the puck. But at the end of the day, you're stopping the puck because you're doing the right thing on the ice. So I've moved away from those, but sometimes they trickle back in and I have to be like, nope, get out of here. But yeah.
What is it like, obviously, being a goalie in the PWHPA?
I think it's really cool. I mean, there's a good group of us. There's a lot of talented goalies, and being able to compete alongside and against those other goalies is really great. And I think within the PW, we have like a goalie alliance, which is really great to be able to count on each other and know that we're kind of all going through the same thing. We're all training really hard and just being able to kind of lean on each other through this.
What is it like, obviously, getting to see your fans and getting to do autographs and take photos with them?
I love that time. I love being able to interact with young girls and have conversations with them and ask them where their heads are at, like if they want to play pro hockey one day, and just being able to hear their story. And I think as female hockey players, we're really lucky to have those opportunities because a lot of like when you're in the NHL and stuff, they don't really interact with their fans all that much. But for us, we're lucky that we have like those signing days and Scotia hockey days where we're actually out on the ice with the young girls. So I think we're really fortunate to be able to do that. And I do love interacting with fans and getting to know people.
What is it like, obviously, getting to see the young fans, obviously, wear your jersey?
That's really really cool. Obviously in college, like fans wear jerseys too, but given that this is a pro association, seeing kids wearing Sonnet jerseys or your teammates jerseys or your jerseys or whatever, it's like really cool to see that you're someone they look up to. And I think that's amazing.
Who are some people that you look up to in the hockey community?
A retired athlete that I actually look up to is Charlene Labonte. She's the main reason why I wear number 32. She was a goaltender for the Canadian national team that I watched when I was growing up, and I was fortunate enough to have her as a mentor throughout my younger years of playing hockey, and we still keep in touch nowadays. So like I said, I think on the women's side, people tend to help people a lot more. It's more of a community, and just having her as a role model through my hockey career has been it's honestly been life-changing. Just having her support and knowing that if I ever need anything, I can count on her. So
As a goalie, of course, when you step on the ice, is there anything special that you do to prepare for the game?
I have a pretty set routine once I get on the ice, like just in terms of on ice warm up and stuff. But just I think a big thing for me is breaking the game down into like 5-minute segments. Can't get too far ahead of yourself, and then you can't think too far back when you're in a 5-minute segment. So I think for me, that's like pretty much the only thing really that I do. If I start to get in my own head, I'll sing a little bit in my head to try and distract myself, but that's really it.
What are some of your future plans in your professional hockey career?
Well, I'm hoping that in the next couple of years, we'll actually have a sustainable professional women's league. That would be really great to see. And just honestly, even being able to get the little things like equipment and all that, I think would be a huge difference for us. But yeah, I'm hoping that we'll have a sustainable league, and that you'll see a lot of female hockey players having hockey as their main career and not working a 9 to 5 and then scooting for practice. So
What advice would you give college hockey players looking to play college hockey and then go on to professionally?
I would just say to do your research. There's a lot of great schools out there, and there's one suited for everyone. So do your research and find the one that's best fit for you, and not only the hockey side of it, but also the academic side of it. And then I would say for the pro hockey part, like the biggest thing is we're putting in the work right now to create a sustainable league for female hockey players. So just, support and offer us support throughout this process, because at the end of the day, it is for people who are still playing in college or who haven't even started college hockey yet. Like, we're doing this for those people, include as well as ourselves. So
What advice would you have players that are looking to decide whether to go in the PWHPA or the PHF?
I think that's another one. It's like, do your research. Both associations / leagues have great things to offer. And I think that, there's one that's probably better suited for you as a hockey player. And I think that that's just something you have to sit down at the end of the day and decide what you think is best suited for you and what you want to kind of get out of it.
What advice would you have current professional athletes that are playing now?
I would say to enjoy it. I feel like it's such a short-lived experience. It's crazy. I'm already in year 3, and I feel like I'm just started yesterday. So I think it does go by pretty fast, and just kind of enjoying it and taking it all in and using your resources to give back to the community, I think is huge. I would say if you have that status of being a professional athlete, you can give back and cause a really great impact. So just get out there and do that.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
My Instagram is my first name and last name, and then Twitter is Sauve32.
Thank you again, Kassidy Sauve, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the PWHPA.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brain, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Kassidy Sauve, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you so much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.